This is Joseph Banta with the Nashville Mobile Development User Group. We are having our 7th or 8th meeting of the Android Study Group from first quarter of 2016. And at this meeting, we're having final project presentations. The idea is that we're going to everybody's going to present their app that they've presented, that they've implemented. And at the end, both the presenters and everybody in attendance is going to vote on their favorite app, and the one that gets the most number of votes is going to get an Amazon Echo to take home. For now, that's pretty much most of what I have to say. I'll put forward my little presentation. I actually changed it slightly this time. So, yeah. Let's see. Again, I want to thank my sponsors, BMI for the venue. Actually, Google paid for this food. Pluralsight for monthly subscriptions, and Google for the food and ongoing support. I haven't actually done anything official on it yet, but the last Tuesday of this month, April 26th, I plan to do an iOS app development lab here at BMI, and I'll post that on Meetup tomorrow. So, so what? Time? 6. The usual time. The last Tuesday a month at 6 o'clock is our usual meeting time. Also going forward, on May 18th, we're going to have one of our bigger events of the year, Google I/O Extended. For those of you that don't know, which probably all of you do, but Google I/O is the annual conference at which they announce their next version of Android, usually, not always, but usually, their recent developments and ongoing innovations. At our event, we'll have some people from Google. Hopefully, they haven't confirmed that yet. We'll be streaming the I/O keynote and other announcements. And there'll be some presentations from local companies on technical developments and innovations. And of course, there'll be a lot of swag and prizes. We're starting to line that up right now, and have more info on the Meetup site soon. So here we are with the final project. The object of the final project was to create an educational app that teaches 5 new things to a user on a certain topic of your choice. As I've said in emails and to a bunch of people anytime, that can mean a number of different things. And I, for one, didn't want to limit the implementation to just using the Android SDKs, because while that was the object of this curriculum, to teach the Android SDKs, really the overall object of being our group is to encourage development no matter what it looks like. So there we are. I think everybody most everybody that has went through the entire course, I got you a certificate of completion. If I didn't, then see me after the class and I'll get one to you. And I can put your name on it, or I can just write your name on it. I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I think we got 6 people that wanted to present. Does anybody want to volunteer to go first? All right. And what? Taylor Matson? Yep. Taylor Matson is going to go first, and I will relinquish control. Oh, he just took the screen from me.
Sorry.
That was cruel.
So I'll go around and I'll let you guys pass it around. I'm going to explain what it does. So my app is about learning about sensors. And it's, when you open it, it's a little animation I made of ball bounce around that changes color and size. I did a lot of actual programming with math and stuff outside of doing text because I was using App Inventor and I haven't had much time with Android Studio because all my classes are using AI too. But what it teaches you is This is basically opening another screen, and you could choose a topic. These are the top 5 topics, and the bottom is just how I made that. And it pulls web data of the up-to-date website from Android dev developers, because that's always updated. So might as well pull that instead of just hard code it, since they've got it all now professionally. And you can reference the material here on how to implement sensor data using Java. And the other screen represents this little text-to-speech. So really bad, but Google's working on a new synthesis engine that'll sound, it's sounding a lot better. You watch Google's videos that they post on YouTube. But the first sensor is the accelerometer, and it just shows where it is on the screen. You have to like hold it flat to see it working good. I would stream up here if I could right now, but I can't. The next one's orientation. You could turn to the side and see how the ball reacts. And you do compass. That's north, east, west, and south. Shows you all the types of data you can get from the phone. Proximity sensor. So, you know, when you pull up your phone, it's a proximity sensor. It looks 8 inches out. And once it's within that, you could use whatever you want to do with that data to pull it out. And then there's a location data puller. It's not pulling anything right now. Let me see if location's on. You have to have your location sensor on, and sometimes it doesn't work right. It gives you address and latitude, longitude, and altitude. And you can learn how to pull that data in your app. So I'll let you guys play with it if you want. Sure. The left one is all the data types to represent. The right one is the learning part of the app. We learn how to implement it. But this is using AI too. So this left, this is all like, it's just graphic oriented programming. It's just graphic representation. But right here, I have to listen to for the accelerometer for the XYZ acceleration, and I have a list over to the right. I'll show you all later. That listens to whenever the selection is chosen. For if I choose a selection of accelerate, I have to listen to that, and if it's true, then I'm going to change all the data types to listen to acceleration data, and I'm going to move a ball on this canvas, which is like a little built-in piece of programming that you can implement with AI2. Down here, it's just listening to when orientation becomes true, and it just gets roll pitch data and turns it into movement on the ball. You can see it move ball to. This is really easy to do programming right off the bat, just get concepts.
So not faster than Java. I mean, learning, you don't know Java.
Yeah.
You can't do everything.
Right.
But
And everything you program in here is compatible with every single version of Android. So you're not limited to any single Android phone. And then the orientation sensor listens to the compass, which is the azimuth, relates to azimuth data. So I have to make an else statement to listen for whenever I choose compass to just get the azimuth data then to represent. And I have to change the sprite of the compass to the azimuth so it rotates as if it's a compass. And this function down here just moves it to, you want me to explain all that?
No, I just wanted to say, before you go too much further,
Yeah.
I did want to put a limit of 5 minutes on people talking so that we get time for questions.
Was that 5?
No, you're at 4:30 right now. Sorry.
All right, no, that's cool. But if you want to learn how I program this more, this is some secret code down here. There's a secret in the app. If you find it, then props on you. It involves a proximity sensor and staring at the ball for a long time. It's really childish. But over here is the gist of listening to the list. And this is initialized whenever I open the app. It sets all these properties to values. But yeah, if you have questions, just ask me later. That's it for my app. You guys keep passing on my phone. I don't know where it is, but
Okay, that's it.
Yep.
So MIT App Inventor, that's what it's implemented in. For those of you that don't know, you can download this thing. It's freely available. And anything else?
It's a web app.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, obviously. Is there anything else you could tell us about it?
I know I could do this in the future in Java and stuff, but I'm just not there yet.
The type.
I know I will be able to do this
Yeah.
in the near future. And whenever I make an app now, I'm just gonna, if I can imagine it and use the components built in here, I'm going to prototype it here first, and then I'm going to bring it over just to get the gist of how I want to, because you can understand how you can look at the types of program blocks and reinterpret that into Java to do it the right way. Because this is ultimately, when you bring a block in, it's just creating a text file, and it's just putting that Java in there.
And this is one, if you guys haven't seen it, this is one of the more advanced drag and drop kind of block.
Yeah, this is more advanced than
Blockly.
Scratch.
Yeah, Scratch and Blockly. There's about 4 or 5 others that are a lot like this, but that are kind of targeted towards kids usually. This one, MIT's App Inventor, is, actually there's real developers that use it professionally.
But it still seems to me to have some limitations.
It does.
I mean, I couldn't make specific image files for one for the right size for a phone and one for the right size for tablets. I couldn't.
You can go in here in Designer and make the, you can click on the initial screen and make it sizing to responsive.
Yeah, but even if you do that, it doesn't always work with everything, because I had that issue with one line.
Okay.
What's your name again?
Taylor.
Taylor.
Anybody else have any other questions?
How long did it take?
2 weeks.
Okay. All right, then I guess we'll switch next. Either we'll take volunteers, or I'll nominate somebody. Anybody?
Somebody say something.
I'll go next. That's fine. And you can put mine up. I don't know that you care to have it. It's fine, but this will give you a way you can email me and I can send you the app. I couldn't figure out how to make. I didn't want to send it to the Play Store because I didn't think it was
That's fine.
up to that, but I can just get out of the full screen mode. Taylor, how do you get out of full screen mode? Here we go. Yeah, how do I get out of full screen mode?
Full screen mode and
BlueStacks.
Oh, also, and if you guys want to download my app, just let me know. I'll give you a QR code to scan.
oh yeah, that's another thing about App Inventor.
Yeah, you could directly build the app here and put it on your phone without the USB or anything. And you can also stream it while you're building it on your phone. That's a really cool feature. But also, you can share the links of what the stuff you learn in there. So, you go to that reference data, you can just share it to your email.
What am I supposed to use for host name?
Oh, 10.0.17.8.
No, I mean 5.8.
Oh.
Internet of Things up there at the top. Now, again, this is showing on a tablet rather than a phone. I created that picture at the top. And I fitted it on my phone because I was testing it on my phone. I didn't test it on a tablet.
Right.
And it's set to where on the phone you can turn it and see it either portrait or landscape. But so mine is the 5 topics on the Internet of Things. And I tried to use I used MIT App Inventor too, basically because I just didn't have time. And you just get to catch up on learning got I couldn't, my biggest hurdle was trying to figure out how to do activity starters or, new screens. I finally figured, by the time I figured out how to make new things, and I was also questioning, well, do I need a manifest XML for this or that? I thought this is too much. So I try to do various things here in the app. So this first one, Internet of Things, I didn't pull from the web. This is one where I put in some text about the definition, and then I have a back button. And then second thing on the examples, I just used like a list, and I used labels and put them in order, just what I wanted to show some examples of the internet, of things that are considered devices on the Internet of Things. And then on the facts, I did like a list picker where you could pick one and it brought up a notifier to give you the information. So, like, let's see, what's one of my favorites? My favorite, here, we won't run out of IP addresses because we have enough for 100 IP addresses for every single atom on Earth. I like that. So that was just, and it's easier to see. I wish I could have forced it into the phone app to show, but it's all scrollable too. So whether you're trying to, portrait or landscape, it's scrollable. So then I've got a back button, and then the fourth one is just similar to the examples. Just gave you different benefits. And then down here for the fifth topic, I decided to do it differently, and I put addresses to web pages that would give you some information. Most of them I used, see now I'm not used to using this BlueStacks. It's not showing you, I guess I have to hit enter on this. Normally it goes right up to the page, but this is WebStack, so I don't know. It will bring it up, I promise. But I guess that was the one. I guess
it just put it in Google search.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, it actually brings the page up on the phone. In BlueStacks, it's not doing that. But it would bring up that page, and again, this is another thing that's different on this BlueStacks than on the phone. That you would have a back. You just hit back on your phone, which I'm not really sure how do I do that.
Like down there.
Well, no, I mean, I on the app on the phone, which I guess I'll start it up and people can pass it around. On the app on the phone, you just hit the back button, your phone's back button, and it goes back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, let's try that. So let's go on the PillCam one. That's actually a YouTube video, and since we've got a few seconds here. No, on my BlueStacks, it's not working. It works on the phone.
Okay.
It's not coming up on this, but I'm not really sure. Like I said, I haven't used BlueStacks before. I was thinking we were going to use the phones. But anyway.
My apologies for not giving you a better setup than this.
No, it's okay. It's just I just on these down here. They pull directly from the web page that I've picked. Or they pull a YouTube video that I've picked for these, and the phone's back button will go back. The thing is, it's scrollable, and you can turn it portrait and landscape. And I made the icon that's for the app itself. I did use Canva for that.
Canva.com is a great tool for creating graphic materials.
They give you, they give you you get a one-time use type license where you can use it as an app, as an icon for your app, and maybe within your app or whatever, that kind of thing they give you for free. I don't think that they give you every kind of thing for free, but I had to manipulate some of the graphics. The other things I tried to pick were free icons, and sometimes I had to go into another drawing package or something to scale it down so it would fit. On the phone, it looks great, but I couldn't find a way in in the App Inventor to, like I say, provide two different images, one for phone and one for tablet, when the scaling wasn't quite right. I looked up and said, like if I'd used Android Studio,
Yeah.
I probably could have just specified a size for each one that, that I was going to use.
Okay, you can close on time. I mean, I think you've gone over 5 minutes, but as long as we're around that, I'm not going to stop anybody. So sorry.
No, that was it.
Okay.
And what was your name again?
Jenny McIntyre.
Janie?
Jenny.
Jenny.
And I'm going to try and populate this survey with the form with the names. What did you call that app?
Internet of Things.
And I called yours sensor data.
Learn about sensors.
Learn about sensors.
The explanation. And it's on the Play Store if you want to buy it for $1.
Cool.
Well, it's for free.
Okay. So now we have heard from Taylor and we've heard from Jenny. Would anyone else like to go next, or shall I nominate?
Okay.
Guy. So next will be Guy or Guy. Anybody called you Guy before?
Yes.
Really?
Okay, any of you guys tried Google Cardboard before?
Yes.
It's awesome. Here, I'll just load this up right now and you guys can kind of check it out while I'm talking. Well,
And they just announced that.
I'm hoping you stand up. So this app is called Primitive Experience, and it's literally a primitive experience. The app's purpose is to learn about 5 commonly used 3D primitives in Unity 3D, which is the program I use to make this app while exploring a virtual reality scene. Target user is myself, and I'm new to development and 3D design, and I tried out Cardboard late last month, ran the demo app, and I was hooked, and so I decided to just go completely off the rails on this and put it into VR. I use a little app called Notability to do some, just for taking notes and stuff like that. So here are some preliminary design sketches that I made for the app itself. There's the first iteration that I made that some of you guys may have seen last week. Here's a little bit of a later one. So I know since this doesn't really have a traditional native Android views, there are some analogs, like for instance, text view, you can consider this a text view. The game is basically a huge scrolling image view, and this you could call a button view. The code is up on GitHub. There's a link on the end, and I did kind of Java dock it. So there's a whole lot of stuff there if you're interested in how to use the Cardboard SDK. There's a great package called Cardboard Controls that Jay Scott on GitHub made, and it's an excellent way to interface with the Cardboard API. Enough that a beginner can kind of figure out how to kind of get triggers to work, things like that. And for those of you looking at rubric, there's conditional logic going on there. So for the dialogues, I did draw a little bit on the material design, colors, font sizes, and paddings, just to, it's nice because it takes the guesswork out of someone who's not a designer or away from somebody, so that, the things are laid out. So I'm using the font sizes and the spacing in those dialogue views. There is a lot of nesting going on in here. So these, one of the big challenges I had in game, you'll see some of these objects here rotate. And one of the challenges was to separate the child panel's behavior from the re-object behavior. And initially when I was trying it, it looked like windmills kind of going around.
Oh, so it was linked to your object.
Exactly, yeah.
That's fine.
So there's a lot of interactivity going on in this app, of course, with VR. You can go up and just kind of look at these objects, check them out, read the information. One kind of interesting challenge was some in-game notifications, just because of the nature of the virtual reality field of view, like not super visible to put something up in the upper left, or upper right, like you normally would. And so it looked like this weird thing happening in your peripheral vision. So it took a little bit of, kind of jiggering around to find a good spot in like the 3D space to put that so it's not totally disruptive to the view, and then have those things kind of disappear after a couple seconds. And that's it for the app. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, do we have time for just a quick demo from the laptop? Okay.
So did you put the objects like it looked like head view?
Exactly,
Like
yeah.
right
So
above it, maybe.
yeah, so and I'm happy to talk about that. So this is the basic thing. This isn't going to be as cool as if you're doing it
Yeah, it's better.
like in a headset here. But basically the gist of it is you're moving around. You've got these objects here that are in the space, and you can activate a little info panel about them, kind of check them out. And you get a little notification popping up there when you're done. And so it's kind of interesting to kind of pop these things into 3D space. It's kind of like blending the 2D and 3D thing together a little bit.
I like those particles.
So anyway, you guys get the gist.
I missed, how do you move forward on the phone?
You tap the screen.
Oh.
Oh yeah. So the movement is the movement's done using the triggers. So when you hold the trigger down, am I still locked in? Okay. When you hold the trigger down, it'll propel you forward according to a speed that was set in the thing, and then if you let go of the trigger, it'll stop moving, and then you can click it, really fast, and it detects the pointer down event for this.
Can you show me that in Unity is what prefab that was? Is that, do you have to install it?
Free?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have
Can
to?
you send us the code so we can look
Yeah,
stuff up?
There's a
We both got Samsung.
It says on GitHub.
We're gonna get the. what do you call it?
so on GitHub, just go to github.com/Guylon. This isn't up there, but it's GUYLEMON, and you can check it out.
GUI what?
LEMON. There's nothing much to see there, so
What's the app called?
the app is called Primitive Experience.
But it gives you the code too?
Yeah, there's code.
Get a host.
Yeah, there's some code in there too. It's a little bit. Maybe I'll just reconnect real quick and put this up there. How am I doing on time?
You're at 5 minutes, but
Okay.
I think we're answering questions anyway, so.
Okay, cool. So here's the moving character controller, and this is all done in C#, which is thankfully really similar to Java. So kind of the basic stuff that we went over in the course really helped for this. So basically, what we're doing here is we're taking this library that the guy wrote called Cardboard Control, and we are using delegates, which is just a way to kind of put some functions inside of a little container, if you will, and then those will interact with the other class. And so what we're doing here is we're toggling our move state when we have an on-down event from the trigger. And then on click, we're interacting. Now the reticle, sometimes the reticle is that little pointer. It can disappear after a certain amount of time, so it's not just hanging out, all day. So if we click, we make sure that it's shown. Did that answer?
Does this come with the code you downloaded?
No, this is code that I wrote.
What's the code you downloaded?
No,
Yeah. It's up. Yeah, the scripts are up on GitHub. I don't really know how to do like a Unity export package, so I literally put the entire project folder out there. So you can dig around in there and find the scripts. And there's also a README on the page to talk a little more about that. Here's that little kind of rotation fix where we're caching the original rotation and position of the object transforms, and then these late update functions at the end of a frame. Each frame in the app will then run this code, and so it just makes sure that every frame we're back home.
Is there a really good Unity 3D tutorial on YouTube?
Yeah, man, their documentation is amazing. Like the documentation for the scripting API, and they have great tutorials linked on their page. And then there's
I was doing all their learning how to. I was reprogramming. You know how they have a reprogram demo apps where you reprogram. The demo apps.
Yeah.
I was going through that, but then college semester.
There's a guy named Ryan Zem who has a YouTube channel called N Your Face Games, and he's been doing these videos specifically on Cardboard VR with Unity, and those were super helpful for getting started, just to understand how to get the all the pieces and parts to get together in the right way with the camera and everything, so that you're not kind of out of sorts. But the movement thing was kind of a separate concern that I just happened to stumble across on GitHub.
Moving forward,
when I was searching around on Google,
Are there any motion controllers out that work with Google Cardboard or Gear VR yet?
I know you can use Bluetooth controllers.
Yeah, I know, but we all know that they're about to have the weak side.
well, you know what a Project Tango is? Well, actually, I don't want to interrupt you.
No, I'm finished unless you guys have anything.
Well, I didn't clap for Jenny, so this is for Jenny and what I was going to say is, if you know what Project Tango is,
Yeah.
it allows you to move around with it. So you can actually do a cardboard app for Tango that lets you move in the world that's,
that's kind of like Steam VR or HTC, but they have to use cameras.
Yeah, and if you want, I can show it to you before you go. I've got
With the Gear VR, I mean with the cardboard
Project Tango.
and Tango and cardboard. And
Yes.
Oh, I need to see that.
Yeah, I've got it here. Okay.
Because that's what sell. Because that's what HTC Vive's done.
It is. It's a lot like it.
That's going to sell if they make it cheap like UVR.
Joseph did a Unity lab last year sometime. I think it's on our archives.
Yes.
So we're looking for.
Yeah, we actually did a Unity code lab for Google Project Tango.
Oh man.
And it was, or no. The code lab that I did was for cardboard. I didn't do Tango because not everybody had Tango, and you wouldn't be able to.
We had Unity. I mean, it was
Yeah.
based on Unity.
It was Unity for cardboard. So it was a little bit like Guy's project, but not quite as full featured. What we ended up with.
Sounds like we need a Tango meeting pretty soon.
A what meeting?
Tango.
Tango. Okay, sure, we can do that. And we'll take nominations. Guy, what did you call that app?
That app's called Primitive Experience.
Did you do a VR app? It's a tablet. This is a tablet.
My connection disconnected.
I compiled an
the-
APK
Oh.
like for
Yes.
Android, just in case you wanted to try. I think it's compiled
That-
against.
is that what you mean?
No, after that.
Oh,
I'll be able.
It's that right there.
Yes, I'll show you.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. We'll try it out.
Can I'd like a link for that.
What's that?
I'd like I'd like a project. Can you share the project? I want to see the project, like on my computer and work on it later on.
Oh, share the copy the project file over.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can also just clone the repo on GitHub. It's got the entire project folder with all the assets and everything in it.
Is it on a certain account? Is it your account or something?
Yeah, here I'll.
Hey, before we get too far off stream, I know this conversation should have happened, but we only have a little bit of time. So let's go on to the next presentation. Does anybody want to volunteer for it? David? Okay, whenever you're ready.
Does it?
Oh, who's got that right now? Who owns the screen?
I don't have it.
I think I do, but like I don't know how to go back to that.
Oh, just hit back. Is that what you meant to do? Oh no, you can't share you can't like do the whole screen on an app. You can do screenshots.
Oh, okay.
So that I'm sorry, I should have told you guys that. The Android version of this isn't as good as the desktop version.
All right.
Yeah, and see, mine's not connecting anymore for some reason.
To that?
Yeah,
10.0.17.8.
I mean, I got it.
Oh, it's probably because you're not on BMI-guest.
Well, I was, yeah, already maybe it just disconnected me. I was, I already signed in.
Just drag down from the full screen. And that'll.
Connected.
Yep, you're connected.
Just choose the IP address, not the.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
So
Sometimes it takes a minute.
so then, let's see, we had that air thing,
Yeah, Air Media.
Oh, you.
You don't look past that.
that's the other one.
Oh, that's the old media.
So, let's see here, where they put
Here it is.
that. Yeah, because I was all connected and then it. Oh, that's probably what it was.
No.
Okay. And that's that
Five.
5. Okay, so are you?
Do I do remote view? Do I do remote view? Is that what I do?
What are you trying to do?
Well, I was just gonna run it on the emulator. If it was
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not.
Oh. Well, I was just gonna run it on the. Is this also just pictures only?
Oh no. On Windows, it'd be a full screen sharing.
Okay,
So you're in the app.
I'm in that, I think. Unless, so I had to download the client.
Yeah, download the file. Yes.
Oops, sorry.
No problem.
Someone else can go.
You want me to go while we're? doing
Maybe
this?
that just makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you download the client? That's what you have to do. Is download.
Yeah, I know. It's saying the DNS can't be reached. So
Oh,
That's why I
10.0.17.8.
use the IP address though.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, I'll go.
Sure.
I'm Vicki Lee, and as of 10 days ago, I had never written any code before in anything. So I actually dived into this with a full challenge of a crash course going through the Android Studio lesson plans. I had to stop around somewhere in the second set of studies and start working on the app. So everything you see literally has been created in 10 days, but not even starting the code writing until after I went and did the coursework. So that being said, I have done everything except finishing out the Java code where all of the buttons have the connectivity. I've got all the layouts done, and my project actually is a project called Superhero Adventure, and it's about there's a professional, an ex-professional wrestler that actually has written a book that's about a superhero, and he gives seminars to teenagers and to preteens talking about the character traits of superheroes. And it's one of those projects where when he goes and talks in front of kids, it might be anywhere from 100 people to 500 kids. They are so fascinated with the terminology of character traits and the superhero concept, because to them, they don't want to hear about something like honesty, that's boring. But if it's a superhero trait that someone has, that they're born with, and then they practice and use this character trait as a superhero, now they get it. It's language that they understand. So I did an app that talks about the 5 areas of this project, so that there's a book. So when you go to the book That's the next screen that shows the book. There's actually a story about a superhero. It's St. Van Dyke's Journey of Many Lands. I even brought a copy of the book so you can see what that is. And each of the kids gets an autographed book when he appears. They actually have photos and then have an autographed book in front of them while he's there. And so then when they hear about the project and they talk about the character traits, this is the list of character traits that are discussed. There's 12 of them. And he tells stories, the author tells stories about each of these character traits that are very humorous. Things sometimes that he did the right thing in real life, sometimes he did not so right thing, but he really is able to capture the kids' attention. Now, this, for teens and for preteens, will give them the ability to have those character traits right in front of them, to be able to see how they're spelled, to be able to know what they are and describe it. I eventually want to have links to additional pages for each of these character traits where we can have a little bit more description about them, etc. Then the next one, here's the author, and it tells a little bit about him. I want to have a little bit more of a bio about him, but his biggest fascination, like I said, is he's actually been a wrestler, and he's wrestled with all the names that you see on TV. So kids are really, inquisitive about that. Like, what was it like to be with Randy Savage or, Hulk Hogan or, those kinds of things. So, that's sort of the connection with that. And then we have a video on the superhero project and a little bit about that character side and why teenagers should embrace this kind of, attitude about life. We've actually seen kids in the community, because this program is sponsored by other companies that underwrite grants to pay for each kid to have this program. They just don't have an app yet, so I thought that would be a good connection. We've actually seen kids in the community using these traits. There was one particular case where David was actually at Walmart in Franklin during Christmas time. It was raining and cold, and he saw a kid about 11 years old run in and grab the door for an older woman that was running out, while his father pushed past the woman and went on in the store. Well, David went up to the kid and says, "Good job, that's the way to do it." And he looks up at David and he says, "You're the guy that taught us about the superhero traits. That's what I'm doing right now." And so he went, and David went and then told his father, "Congratulations on your son doing the right thing. Make sure you reward him for those kind of behaviors." So the point is, kids can learn about doing things and having examples, not necessarily just following peer pressure. So again, the more we can put these things in someone's hand where they can have something on their phone, they can have a reminder every day, and even it being sponsored, to me, that's beneficial. And then, of course, linking to the website. This website describes a little bit more about, where he might be speaking or what, how to register to be part of a seminar, and a little bit more about David and some of that. And there's a feature film that's in the works down the line, so we'll connect a lot more. So this is just sort of a basic starting place. But just the fact that I was able to get it all done from a design level, I was like thrilled. So, because it's a major thing.
I think it's a great concept.
So 10 days from nothing.
From nothing to never, ever, ever. I mean, so it's like I was challenging myself, really pushing. So thank you.
Anybody have any questions about it? So did you call that superhero experience?
Adventure.
Superhero adventure. Questions? Then I think we're down to 2 presentations. Okay, David is next then, and David, you can start whenever you're ready.
So unlike the last presentation, this one doesn't really have a lot of work. I was kind of just wanting to test stuff out. on Android Studio just for fun and, just like mess around with the program and what I can do with the intents mostly. So here's me just tinkering around for fun because that's what it is. So on the main page, you can like, so Little Caesars, I don't know if any of you like watch the commercials or whatever, and then it's interactive and stuff. Again, this is just me toying around for fun on like a weekend, so there wasn't a lot of effort put into it. So the first step, you gotta find some pizza first, right? So like that's kind of the most important part about eating a pizza is you gotta like go to the right places. So if you click on order a pizza, it opens up the Google Maps intent, and I don't know if it actually looks for, it does have location services on the
Yeah.
so you can like do little Chicago pizza or whatever, and then give them a call, and then tell them to deliver it to you at some point. They'll go to Pizza Hut.
What was that intent?
It's a Google Maps intent. I don't know if you, I think they talked about it in the lesson. I don't know if you reached it there, but it's pretty easy and fun to do, and it's pretty easy.
Maps are a very powerful component that you can include in your app almost for free. I mean, it takes very little effort to put a map to search stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of my stuff are intents. So second, I mean, you call the place, they told you how long you gotta wait. So you can either like put in a timer or something, or you can, you gotta pick up your pizza. You can't leave them there. So you can select the minutes on here. Yeah, you want the fresh. On my phone, the submit isn't cut off like this, but so it counts down in seconds because I'm always excited about how many seconds I have in the pizza. Or if you wanted to, you can use the timer intent to set up a timer on here as well. So yeah. So step 3, you gotta have some mood music, Surprisingly, there were so many pictures of just pizza, like, I don't know what these are even called nowadays, where they turntables. Yeah, I'm too young for those. There's like app turntables and stuff. So, as I said, I just had a lot of fun with those. There were so many playlists, and then there were so many like pizza things. So if you click on one of these, I think the first one links to this one links to Pandora. There's a pizza playlist apparently. I don't remember what this one linked to. 8 tracks, so you can listen to some 8 tracks while you wait for your pizza. And the last one, I think, more that. Stop it.
No.
Oh, but the sound is important for the next word. Anyways, so you can have a playlist going, while this is happening. So step 4, hopefully at this point you got in your pizza. And obviously the most important thing you got to do with pizza is take a selfie.
Oh,
I don't know if you've heard of the song. It's like a EDM song, but I thought it was relevant. So. Anyways, so I don't think the camera works on the emulator. But so I think if I here, this just translates.
Just simulating what it would be.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can try it on here too if you want to. For some reason, I couldn't figure this out. The resolution on this is a lot worse than the original camera, and I don't know why. I think it's
Hey, Chris, sorry, my laptop died right in the middle of the hangout, so I'm back now.
Oh, could I add a quick revision?
Yes, please do.
The search button on my app goes to my LinkedIn, and you guys should add me on LinkedIn because my boss is going to Houston, and I don't want to move to Houston. Give me a job.
So what did you call that app? Pizza
App is fine.
Pizza app. All right.
I'm a little unclear, pizza's a verb.
I was tired.
How to pizza. What was it? What was the title when you
How to pizza.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the standard now.
Justin, you're last but not least. So whenever you're ready.
Well, I had more ambition than I had time, because we ended up buying a house with all this, and so we're in the middle of moving. So the original goal was, everyone's always talking about hot chicken around here, and I was like, well, it'd be nice if people could put reviews, and you could order the list by location and everything, but I ended up just getting a list and a little animation going, and I can't get it to work on the emulator, so I just have to, you can scroll up and down, and I got started with it.
And so it's a hot chicken app?
So,
Oh, do they not have an app?
I'm sure they
For
do. I
IDBs?
just-
Is this for IDBs?
No, it's for,
No, just all hot
Local?
chicken.
Oh, okay.
Hot
So if you're in
chicken.
Mount Juliet, you can go, okay, which is the closest? Oh, Helen's is the closest.
Oh, okay.
And then I want to be like, it takes an average of 25 minutes for you to get your hot chicken, so I don't expect it to go in and out at lunch. And
I bet a lot of people here, if you could target it to people in Tennessee.
I don't know, KFC is taking the hot chicken scene by storm, aren't they?
You know,
Yes.
I was so surprised and happy
Yeah.
that it tasted just like, what is that place down there on Huster Avenue? The Road? Their hot chicken is real good too, and it tastes like their hot chicken.
All right.
This animation is dope, yo. Wow. I have no idea how to do that. I'm serious, I don't know how to do that. Okay, I guess
Material
it's,
design animation. I was trying to get the recycler view to work, and then I wanted to tap on it to go to another part, but that's where it has to be a pain.
Was the animation an accident?
Oh,
I'm sorry, I
just-
actually-
Going through the tutorials, and I found it, and I was like, that's neat, so I just add that and a couple of lines.
I exited it.
Oh, it was in there? Oh, okay.
What's
So
the-
that's something you can find in the program.
It's
What's it called again?
Smaller case hot chicken, if I remember right, because I had 2 in there.
Oh, might have to go back to you. No, say it. Oh, wait, recycler view, is that it? Oh. Sorry, I closed it. I don't know what I did.
So it's under hot chicken.
Hot chicken.
Hot chicken.
Thank you. Hey, your settings don't go anywhere, man.
No. So I didn't have much time.
That animation is.
Not yet.
Is it not dope, yo?
Yeah. I haven't
Oh, wait,
seen
wait.
that in a different app at all. I've never
This-
seen that in a different.
The animation that we're talking about, for those that are on the Hangout,
Have any of you seen that?
It's one I've not seen before.
It's a material design animation, yeah.
I haven't seen this particular animation
That's
myself.
really nice. It's really clean.
There.
It's hot.
No, it's dope, yo. Don't ask me why I'm saying dope now.
But the recycling view does load only within the screen, and then as you scroll, the load will take out a memory of what's not on the screen too, so.
There's a little glitch whenever you move and your thumb's on one of the options, it pulls it up and drops all the way back down.
Well, anybody have any questions about it?
Like that.
I think we have to get around and see it.
Yeah.
So this is using the standard Android SDK written in Java, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the recycler view, and I just added the animation of that. Actually, on Pluralsight, I was going through their stuff. for
Yeah,
recycling.
my initial idea for the last physical meeting we had was to go through a code lab for the recycler view, if you may remember. But I couldn't find a code lab that actually worked. Like I had one picked out, and I went halfway through it, and I spent like 3 hours going through it, making notes and everything, and figured out why am I missing, what am I not making here? And it's because they've left steps out, and so I had to start. This recycle review code lab that I was going to give on March 29th.
Oh, yeah.
There's also a grid view and a zigzag grid view, which is the one which has all the different
Does it just
sizes.
I wanted to click it.
Does it just make animations?
I wanted to click it and take me to a website.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, but like I said, I ran out of time.
I'll pop up.
It's not as straightforward as you would think it would be.
Right.
I did.
Right.
We can do
Wait,
that.
we're sitting there?
Just need time.
Right.
Some
But,
reason.
the, Hangout died.
Yeah, somehow they did the same thing, yeah.
When are you gonna reset it?
Oh, reset the echo. I thought you meant reset the echo on the Hangout.
No.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I think. Are you done? Then
Plus, if you open it up and beyond, we get stuff to the next.
Okay.
with that, I will give you guys. Oh yeah, what did you call that app?
Hot chicken.
Nashville hot chicken.
So our candidates tonight.
I got it.
Actually, let me put them on screen.
Where did you learn about that animation? Where was
I was
that?
on Coil's site when I was looking at recycling review, and I found reserve animations as part of it. So I looked up the other recycler animation.
So our candidates tonight that you'll see on this form when I send you the link are Taylor's app with Learn About Sensors, Jenny with the Internet of Things, Guy with the Primitive Experience. That was actually the 3D app. What?
Your battery unplugged just in.
Oh, really? Oh, wait.
You plugging that in? This one?
I just didn't want to go down again.
Unplugged at the brick.
Yeah.
There's another one here too. Oh yeah, I did it. Weird.
Maybe that one.
Oh, somebody might have kicked it loose down here. The actual plug is
Is
down
that
there.
me?
Maybe. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, Guy with the Primitive Experience 3D app, Vicky with a superhero adventure, David with a pizza app, and Justin with a Nashville hot chicken. So I'm going to show you the link to that. Fill out the form. And it's right there. So Chris, can you see that? Oops, sorry.
Yep, I can see it.
Chris, hopefully you can see that too, right?
Yeah, I can see that. Can you
If
hear
you
me?
can't, let me know.
Bad.
I think I'll only vote if there needs to be a tiebreaker.
Oh, we can't. Oh, Unity. Yeah, I want to see more Unity. Do you think you'll ever do Unity 3D?
Yeah, definitely. I've actually pseudo committed to doing iOS on April 26th,
Yes.
but I was playing in my mind with doing another Unity one because it's familiar and fun, and more people should be doing Unity.
Yeah, add Unity.
And
Vote for me too, Chris.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of votes for
VR
that.
stuff coming out.
it's in the future. It's a big part app development feature.
It'd be nice to be able to, because there's not a lot of stuff out there right now.
Yeah,
It's
and
nice to
with,
get a heads up.
with Oculus just having gone retail, you know,
What is Unity providing that
It's
is already
a
out there?
3D animator.
it's, okay, the greatest thing I see about Unity is it's a one-time app. You write it and compile it and whatever, and you can tell your IDE to target iOS, which is an iPhone or an iPad. You can tell it to target
Yeah.
Android. You can tell it to target Windows Phone. You can tell it to target Windows. You can tell it to target Mac, and all from the same code base. You can do all the same thing.
That's pretty.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's really
And it's
amazing.
free.
And it's
And it's WYSIWYG for the most part.
But it's not a web app.
Do you know if you could do the same stuff in Unreal Engine, like you export to?
I
You can
have-
do even more with that, right?
I've not used Unreal.
Yeah, Unreal's a little more like,
Yeah,
it's a little more,
processor intensive stuff.
Yeah, it's a little harder to use.
Yeah,
Oops.
I'm gonna have to learn Unity for some.
I can only recommend Unity because it's the one I've used. I haven't used Unreal.
the thing about Unity though, is if you make a lot of money and don't have to buy the pro, they can audit your books and give you refunds. So
Yeah, if you make over $100,000, they'll start charging you like $80 a month or $70 a month, I think.
Is that right?
Yeah. And when you download it, it'll say, you have to tick mark this thing. It says, you certify that you're using this for free and you're not making over $100,000 off, or basically our software. So,
Well, there's a one-time fee option too, $3,000.
yeah.
But it's like if you.
I mean, if you made $100,000, then I would just, just take $3,000.
Right, I mean, $100,000, you can pay something for
It's
it.
close.
If I made $100,000.
Go ahead and buy it,
Mhm.
then make your profit after that.
That's how most things.
When they talk about it, Music City Code, it said it's not only review, but it's whoever opens your code, you get the fine for.
Who opened my code?
So if you.
Oh, like if I'm
you-
our developer?
Yeah, so if you have another person like do another model for you, whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna get charged for them.
Oh,
Oh. Okay.
I'm sharing this.
Well,
Chris, you see that? You guys can't see it. Okay. Okay. So I will show you another good trick that I know. The winner. Oh, can anybody name that book? Come on, parents. There's gotta be some parents in here. I said, and so I will show you another good trick that I know.
Wow. Yeah, I did it.
You can do it. Announce. And the winner is. What?
The winner tonight of the Android Study Jam is Guy Lemon.
Let me reset it.
Yeah.
But before we get